Germany occupies Copenhagen. Hitler's troops, disembarking from transports in the harbor, carry out the Führer's latest act of aggression, the invasion of peaceful and innocent Denmark. In this historic film, Movietone presents the first pictures of the Nazi Scandinavia. Pictures that prove the ease with which the German army took over the country and the humiliation which the Danes must have felt as the Nazi jackboot tramped from the harbor through the streets of the capital. As Mr. Churchill pointed out, not only was Denmark the nearest and weakest of Germany's neighbors, but there was another good reason for her being invaded. She had recently signed a non-aggression pact with the Nazis. The invader, taking over full control, is careful to display the swastika for the benefit of the airmen flying overhead. Actually, it's not a bombing raid, but the planes are dropping leaflets ordering the people to remain calm, to cooperate with the Army of Occupation, and to carry on as normally as possible. The Nazis, who are pleased to describe themselves as protectors, succeeded in carrying out this plan of General Keitel's like clockwork. The whole country was in their hands within 24 hours. No doubt Hitler thought that he could overrun Norway with the same ease, and with as little opposition. That was where he made a colossal blunder, a blunder that may yet prove to be the turning point of the war. The seizure of Copenhagen itself was an obvious step in his main advance on Scandinavia. Already, however, his force has been smashed by Britain in Narvik, and ultimately he will be thrown out of Denmark too.
Outside Denmark, the myth grew that the king wore the Star of David. The truth is, he never did. No one ever had to in Denmark. Sends a message to Hitler. Now is the time to do what Germany has done for the rest of Europe and go after the Danish Jews. What happened next was so remarkable that it has become a legend, a miracle, amidst the horrors of World War II. Over the next few weeks, fishing boats laden with Jews made more than 600 trips to Sweden.
We were told that we couldn't bring any luggage whatsoever, or that we should put on as many warm clothes as we possibly could, and we went over and stayed overnight with some friends of my parents, some Christian friends of my parents. And we were told that we'd just be staying for one night, which also happened. And the following morning, we went, the whole family, to the railroad station and took a train down to the southern part of Denmark. I remember that, again, this happened time and again during the escape to Sweden, that we were told, try not to be conspicuous. That's very, very important. And, well, I would say that I understood that this was serious. But I did also feel that, to some extent, this was an adventure. I don't think you can expect much else from a 6-year-old kid. There was definitely an element of adventure involved.
all looked like Germans because the Swedes, they were wearing the same dresses. And we came in and we bought tea, and they told us where we could stay. They put us actually in the Grand Hotel. It's called the Grand Hotel. They paid the Swedes paid for things. They say we could stay there till if we had any relatives in Sweden, we could go to them. I think we stayed about a week. And every day my parents would go down to the harbor to see if my grandparents had come. They were still and an old aunt I had, my grandfather's sister. They were still in Denmark when we fled. And a few days later, 4 or 5 days later, they came.
When we brought them down to the shore where the boat was waiting, we knew exactly when the boat would be there. We had the boat was normally stationed in Sweden, and then we had every day that point there and there at that time, and then the boat would go in and we could have our passengers aboard. But it was rather safe because we did everything possible to secure the way from the houses down to the beach. That they were not captured, and we were able to see there were no that could threaten them. Also, they had to react in a special way, very silent. We had a problem with the children sometimes, but we had our Dr. Gasford, he gave them injection, the children. But he was very afraid sometimes because he said, I don't know this patient, how much can I do? But nothing happened at once. They came, we never lost the passenger. We got this boat, it was bought by the bookbinder Kim from, it was a boat laying in the harbor of Elsinore, and that was a very good boat, a sound boat built in the beginning of the 30s. It was, of course, wooden boat with a good engine, and it was able to go rather quick, about 8-9 miles, and that is much for a motorboat. And when it started, clear, the first night I remember had 2 or 3, no, 2 trips to Sweden, and I think they got 10 to 12 passengers every time. And then later on we had in October 700 Jews, and totally I know that this boat brought